Hello folks and welcome back to our playthrough of Kerbal's space program. So in the last episode we started off on our little space program. We updated, I think, the launch pad. Beyond that, I don't think we really updated much else beyond that. Our funds are currently around 186,000, so we're so-so on that front. Also today I am talking on my Blue Yeti microphone. Hopefully everything is set up right so you won't hear much background noise. Anyways, let's get started. Let's look over at... we'll do mission control. So right now I don't have any active contracts going. Let's see. Probably need to do something to get us a little bit of funds. Would probably be pretty useful, I think. These ones that involve surveys below 17,500 are probably pretty good. Let's look at the tracking station. Just a small echo, but it's nothing. I don't know if I like that necessarily. Alright, so we have several of these ones. I think we can get to all of these with just a plane, so let's try and do some of those then. We want to generally focus on the surveys that take a crew report in flight below 17,500. You generally want to do the ones that are below 17,500 or below whatever the height is. That's easier for a plane to do, so that's above, that's below. Alright. Can't take any more. Shoot foe. I'm confused. Alright, so let's see. Crew report. Okay, so now we gotta build a plane that's not gonna completely fall apart on us. I'm gonna try going for something smaller, but something that we can recover, because yeah, I don't need to lose any planes here. Actually, you know what? We'll do that. Okay, that should work. We'll add some elevons here. And we'll also need a tail fin. Oh, shoot for the stars. Eventually we'll do that, once we get some money going here. Alright. Oh, that's actually not the one that I wanted. I wanted this one. And the basic jet engine. Okay. So everything should be set up right initially here. Let's look at our mass and our aerodynamic, because we want those to be relatively close together, if I recall correctly. Alright, so all of those are together. Let's just name this Flyer Alpha. Save. Probably should put some science stuff on board. And maybe do a communications as well. Just for the hell of it. Alright. I don't think there's really... Oh, duh. I do need the parachutes here. Alright, the parachutes are about center of mass, so hopefully this does work on keeping us from completely destroying ourselves here. Alright, let's see how we can do. We're still on our crappy little runway here, but it is what it is. Eventually we'll get a better runway and all that. We just need some money for the moment. Alright, come on, little plane. Okay, apparently we're just gonna try for, maybe... Okay, it's working. That's a good sign. We have not crashed yet. Progress. Alright, well, while we're here, let's see. Can we log temperature? Nope. Alright. So if I recall correctly, I think the missions will appear on here. Oh, we're going the wrong way. We gotta go left. Generally, I find that it's easier to turn by just rotating your plane and then pulling up. It seems to work better for trying to move around, and it doesn't look like our nav ball has anything on where our missions are, so I'm just gonna have to do it with the old map. Alright, we can zoom out and get a little better view of everything here. So it looks like our little plane is working for the most part. You know what, I can probably speed this up. So yeah, my general goal right now is try and earn some money by doing these little observation surveys, that sort of thing. Then once we have some money, we can try to eventually get things set up for sending a couple craft into space to do some docking. Now, I was messing around in just the sandbox mode earlier, trying to practice docking for this video, and it didn't go so well. I made it to where the two craft were relatively close to each other. It just... oh, I am way off. Oh. Okay, yeah, don't turn when you're at a higher speed. Oh yeah, I know what. Activate navigation. Now it... Okay, there we go. That was my problem. You actually have to go onto the map and click on your targets and select activate navigation. And then it'll show you where you need to go on your little nav ball. Okay, so that should help us out here. Let's speed her up again. So yeah, I was practicing trying to do some docking. Unfortunately, every time that I attempted to do it, I would miss the other craft. So yeah, that didn't go so well. Oh. So it said you are entering sector whatever. Do our little crew report thing, or our whatever, world first milestones. Oh, that's old stuff. Anyways, we've done the one survey, now we gotta do the other survey. Return to our map, activate navigation, and we'll change up and head there next. I noticed because at school it makes loud sound on my computer saying that newbie is playing Kerbal Space Program, and the teacher just looked at me. Uh-oh. You're in trouble there, Gerardo. Alright. Oh, it's blinking. Does that mean we're at where we need to be? Yep. Okay. Now we just have to land. I'm gonna try and go over... I don't know if this is a good... No face, no chase. I don't know what our best option here is as far as trying to land this thing. But I'm gonna try and try to bring it over land. Hopefully that'll work. We'll get over land, we'll slow it down, and then hopefully everything will work out and we won't lose the whole craft. Also that... Okay, I gotta change that up because that's a little annoying. Audio volume spacecraft, let's lower that. It's a little bit better. Yeah, that jet noise is a little irritating, just a little bit. And I'm having some lovely issues again. Oh. Yeah, I might be having a moment here where YouTube's not going to look very well. Because YouTube is saying YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, blah 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 blah. Stupid YouTube and whatever. Ow. I wish I knew what was causing some of my upload rate issues, because it's an entirely different issue than I used to have. Because now where the stream goes to 0 kilobits per second now, instead what's happening is, I don't know if it's like a ping issue where it's like encountering lag with it. I don't know. Because the upload rate changes, but it doesn't go to like nothing. Alright. So I am attempting this here. And hopefully everything works out. We're almost to the ground. Probably the biggest issue is going to be activating the this Haya. Welcome, Diego. Yeah, we're not going to be docking this little plane here because, yeah, it's pulls out a trap card. Uh-oh. Bringing Yu-Gi-Oh into my stream here. An Obi-Wan. An Obi-Wan meme. Alright. This is actually working out rather well with us not having any velocity going here. I expected that this plane would be heading down much quicker. So it might almost be that we could attempt to land this regularly, but I don't know if I'll necessarily try it like that. Careful. Careful. I want to speed it up a little bit, but at the same time, I'm like, well, if I do that, I'll probably crash it. Alright. So we are almost there. That plane looks weird. The butt looks like a rocket tip, but then the front looks like a plane. Well, this is a, it is an actual, like, part for the plane, I believe anyways. Speed it up faster, faster. Oh no. We'll attempt it. Easy, easy. We might just be able to land this thing. Okay, deploy. Okay, we only lost the back. Hooray! Oh, yeah, we gotta break this thing because we don't have brakes on these wheels. Come on, plane, just stop for me. There we go. Recover vessel. Alright, how much did we recover here? So, didn't get any science from that. Science parts. Recovered 8222. The cost for it was 98.75. So we did kind of lose a little bit. Lost about 1,000 there. We may be able to land this thing. The butt explodes in a spectacular manner. You know, it was a better landing than Obi-Wan and Anakin did in Revenge of the Sith, so. Alright, what do we want to do next? Let's go back to mission control. So we're at 227,000 now. Which, let's see, ferry a VIP safely to his destination. Something to consider, but it really doesn't give us too much. It gives us more reputation than anything. This one is interesting. A thumper solid fuel booster while orbiting Kerbal. Altitude of 180 to 190,000. It's doable. Heat shield. This is a variety of little surveys there to get us few science, because right now I guess one of my goals is to get let's see, research and development, probably get to 90 science so I can do one of these higher level research areas or whatever. Probably, I'm thinking probably fuel systems here. There's propulsion, and nothing too special there. Heavy rocketry, again, nothing too special. General construction here does have some decouplers that might be useful, though. Aerodynamics helps with space planes, well, in this case, just regular planes, because I don't have a plane that can go into space yet, but yeah, again, nothing too special there. I will need landing stuff, probably. Well, no, not necessarily. The, what is it? Where is that regular? There it is. The micro landing strut might be good enough to make it to the moon. So that might not necessarily be anything that I have to worry about. Let's build another rocket. Alright, so we have our command pod here. Let's get that all decked out and ready to go. No, I don't want that. Okay. So we have our starting pod. Next, I guess, focus should be... Well, let's see. We have this little fuel tank here. Wondering what kind of engines I could place on that. Oh, those things maybe. They have a thrust of 120. That's actually a pretty good thrust. So I could use that as like a starting point. Let's see. We'll call this, let's see, something space related. How about Neutron 1? Let's go back to our research center here, because I want to look at our archives and see what sort of things we've discovered here. We've done an EVA report from the Highlands, EVA crew, EVA and crew from water. We still have a couple things from this space hangar and the areas around the center that we could do. I don't know if I necessarily want to, though. Maybe once I build a rover, I can send a little guy out and do all the stuff around the Kerbal Space Center and that sort of thing. I do wish I knew exactly all of the different things that I could research here. That would make things easier, definitely. All right. Oh, that, nah, I don't need to really do anything with that. I don't think I need any of these strategies, really. Oh, let's see. Minus 15, 1.5% funds. Oh, I can change commitment value. Okay. So reduces funds off of launch costs and R&D purchases. Funds off on facility repair. And minus 1.5 reputation on each discount. And all it does is it takes reputation, it looks like. So that's really not too bad. Let's try it and see what happens. Setup costs 17, sure. Not entirely sure what that minus 1.4 reputation on each discount necessarily means. Does it mean that each time you do something that you lose reputation? Maybe? Oh, haven't a clue. Alright, let's just get our spaceship going here. Probably helps if I give it the right stuff now, don't it? Couplers. Make a orbital missile. Something to consider when we've progressed a little bit further. That might be something that we could look into doing. Don't want to set up an orbital missile yet, though. When we're still working on doing science and our money's still a little precarious, at least for the moment. Nuke the other side of the planet. There is apparently another space station of some sort over there. So it would be something to consider. Or not space station, but a launch pad or something like that. Oh, I have a feeling that this thing will totally tip over. Let's save it. The nuking. All right, let's save where we are here and attempt this. And if it doesn't work, we'll warp back and try it again. All right, we are lifting off. That's a positive sign. The nuking. So that's the thumbnail. The thumbnail was actually just one of the regular stock ships in sandbox mode being launched off into space, and then it was just, well, it didn't really even make it to space. I think it maybe made it to like 10,000 feet, and then it just stopped, so that was rather disappointing. Any mystery goo stuff that we can do here that we haven't done? Well, 1.6, it's a little something. Okay, why are you turning weird? Okay, now you're turning alright. I one-shot a cat in space and hope that it will come back and land on its feet. Well, it could certainly try to land on its feet. I don't know if it will. Yeah, this rocket really isn't enough to go all the way up here. How far are we getting here? Well, we're at 90,000. Oh yeah, I forgot I can't time warp in, at least not yet. I think I have to upgrade my tracking station to do a time warp on all of these little things. Okay, so we should be able to do another, well, let's see. Anything here we can do? A little bit there. Again, nothing too special. Can't do anything with the temperature. Can't do anything with the pressure. Okay, let's get going again. And I'm actually going to change my trajectory a little bit. Or attempt to anyways. So maybe I can get into the highlands over here. If we put enough thrusters on a planet, we can move the entire planet somewhere else. That is true. It may not be a smart idea, but it's true. And that's it for the thrusters. Okay. We'll stop that. Orient ourselves here to be ready to return to Kerbal. And then we'll just let time pass. I don't think there's any crew report. No. Can I do an EVA? No. Already got all of that stuff. Fudge. Eventually I'll get more science going here. Somehow. Oh, I think if I upgrade... Is it the astronaut complex that lets you do surface samples? It could be that. So that means we can move planets into the habitable zone. I guess theoretically. But even if we necessarily did, it wouldn't necessarily mean anything because I think theoretically, like, Venus and Mars are both kind of in the habitable zone. The only problem is Venus has too much atmosphere and Mars has too little atmosphere. Or shoot them into the sun. I mean, that's always a possibility too. I mean, you know, if you ever have a garbage planet or whatever that you want to get rid of, just toss it into the sun. I think that's what they did in Futurama. Alright, I do have some temperature stuff here I can do. What about pressure? No. So temperature I can do at multiple different biomes. That's something I'll have to keep in mind. Crew report, can't do that. I don't think I can do it. What was that? I don't know what that was, but hopefully it doesn't endanger us. Alright, I think from all of this we're gonna get, let's see, 5.6 plus 1 and 2. So like 8 science. It's still not quite going to be enough to do all the stuff we want to do though. Can I do an EVA report? Oh, I can, okay. Got a little extra there then. Alright, recover that. We're at 86 science right now. And he still hasn't gotten any No XP gain? Oh. Above, above, and above. Erg. Fly by the moon, gather scientific data from the moon, and return to Kerbin from a flyby of the moon. Oh, okay. Well, that would be really nice to do. It's like Apollo, I think Apollo 1? No, not Apollo 1. Apollo 1 failed. Apollo 7, I think, was the first one to do the flyby of the moon. I think, anyways. EVA reports on the surface. Oh, that could be a pain. It's a nice payout, though, for doing that. Does it say what sites those are? Let's see. Oh, so it's all places like right near the Space Center. Okay, so you know what? I think we could do that then. The biggest thing is just actually making a craft that can do that properly. Alright, observational surveys of Kerbin near Scientist Knoll. Accept the contract. Now we need something that can, wait, did they fly? They did a flyby, so they had guns, and when they were passing by the moon, they started to shoot at the moon. No, they did not shoot at the moon. Alright, I have a plan on doing this. I don't know if this is going to work, though. Alright, let's call this Lander Alpha. Save. And launch. Oh, I think this is going to end terribly. Alright, let's activate our navigation here. So beta is the closest. First things first, I want to check. If I do EVA from the launch pad, I think that's considered being on the surface. Easy, easy, easy. Okay, let's revert back. I think I have too many engines, so let's try doing this with just 2 engines then. I'm gonna somehow make this work, I think. Alright, so let's try this again. Beta site there, okay. So we'll rotate, then bring us forward a little bit. No, not good. Okay, let's try. Oh, work. Little parachute work, please. Am I even close enough to it? Not really. I actually overshot it. That's what I did. I think I need a rover to do this. Yeah, we'll revert back. Alright, let's leave this. And let me look at research and development. More thrusters. Thrusters are not the issue. What was my plan here? Let's do a couple of these. I'm gonna try something a little different here. Try to make something hopefully usable on the ground. More thrusters equals more power equals more range. I mean, that's true, but you also need more fuel as well. Now, what I'm going to try here is, because the area that we're working in here is relatively close to the Space Center. So I'm going to try and make this work using a really cheap little thing like this. Let's call it Jet Rover. Now, theoretically, this will work. Theoretically. Well, we can do an EVA report there, so let's recover it. What is your main goal for this game? I would say to at the very least get further than I've ever done before, which would be going to one of the planets in the Kerbal system. If I can do that, I will feel satisfied from my efforts in this game. Alright, so we're going to activate the jet engines. Alright, there's the one location over here. Easy now. Oh crap. Let's revert to launch there. That didn't work too well. I know eventually there's more parts that are much more effective for creating something like a rover. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm anywhere near obtaining those parts. If this doesn't work, I might try to make a vertical ship that uses jet engines. That may work better, because jet engines don't use a lot of fuel. Why, after reading this, does the brain not recognize the second the... The second the... Oh. It doesn't help either that I'm using a craft here that doesn't have any brakes on it. So to stop, I have to actually... well, I can probably try to put the nose in. No, that's not really working. I don't know what I have to do to stop. Probably turn until I lose enough momentum from that. Or I'll just send myself to my death here. Or poor Jebediah to his death anyways. Second death, at least. Log flight at Kerbal. I don't know how you... Another thing that I haven't really ever done much is built up my Kerbal pilots and that sort of thing. I haven't really done anything with that because I haven't really played career mode all that much. I've probably only gotten a little bit further than I am now. World's safest vehicle right there. Oh yes, just surrounded by a whole bunch of jet fuel. It's all right. It's all right. I think we're getting close to the place we need to be. Maybe. I can try to speed it up a little bit. No! Alright. Let's revert back. We were doing so well. Okay, so we'll go back over to the vehicle assembly building. And we will make... do we want to do this one? Nah. Let's... I know it's going to be really weird. I'm going to try it like that. Do the jet engines have gimbals? Does not look like it. So that might make things a little bit more difficult. Alright, let's see if this thing's gonna work. I'm not even gonna name it. Alright, activate the SAS. We'll start up the jet engines. Okay, well, we're lifting off at the very least. Also, I realized I didn't even add a parachute on this thing. Oh, that's horrible. Okay, did I pass this thing up? Yeah. No. Oh, this isn't working. That didn't work at all. Revert. Oh, hell. Let's just try our little Flyer Alpha ship. Maybe that can do it. At the very least, it might be a little bit more stable. Unfortunately, that tail is probably going to ruin it. Because if I hit a big hill, that tail is going to go into the ground. But, oh, hill. Wrong side of the runway. Well, that was the intention, because I'm trying to get to these coordinates, which are... Because you have to be on the ground. You can't be flying, because it's surface samples that we're getting. Oh dear. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Okay, well at least we slowed ourselves down. Oh, but I'm really running through a lot of electric charge. Well, looks like I'm kind of gaining it back. Alright, we've reached the first little area here. So EVA. EVA reports. One EVA survey done. Alright. Thank goodness. Easy. Easy. Oh, hell. That was not the intention to activate those. Not at all. Well, Jebediah, you are, at the very least, you're committed now, so good luck, little frogman. I think he's almost at the place he needs to be anyways. At least it looks that way on the map. Press and hold B for brakes. Well, it and hello there, Phalanx. Yeah, the problem is that these wheels, I don't believe, have brakes. So as you can see, I've activated the brake toggle, but there's no brakes. It ain't slowing down. So I have to slow down by going back and forth like that. EVA report, keep. Alright, next area here. Oh, Delta is activated, okay. Yeah, and unfortunately I don't have the all of this stuff like researched yet to make a proper rover to check out the area around here. So that kind of sucks as well. So yeah, I've turned my little space plane into a makeshift rover to try and do this. Oh dear. Not good. This is a big incline. Okay. Careful. Yeah, because otherwise, you know, if this was like a sandbox mode, well, sandbox mode doesn't have the missions and all that, but you know, if I had access to all the stuff, I could make a much better rover than this plane that I'm using right now. Yes, fresh starts. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look at what game I'm playing. I think I saw you were, my little Steam alert said that you were playing Skyrim there. Yes, the horrible problem of Skyrim, always trying to, quit it. Always restarting and setting up a new story. Especially when you have that Live Another Life mod installed, because that one makes it really easy to start a whole new story. You don't have to go through the whole starting sequence and all that. Come on, come on. Alright, where's the last place that we need to go? It's all the way back at the Space Center. We could probably do this quicker by just recovering the darn thing. But, we're out. And if I'm gonna sacrifice just one space plane here, it'll be this one. Oh no. No! It's just a little damage. It's still good. It's still good. Oh yeah, I didn't have my SAS on, so that's probably why that happened. Because anytime you do an EVA, you lose, your SAS goes out. Oh, we're at 100.9. Oh, that's not good, because I don't think I'm gonna get... I think I'm gonna lose some research here. Oh well, at least I'll get the at least I've completed this thing, so hooray! Just gotta bring it to a stop, recover. Alright, that was a troublesome little thing. It says 113 science. Can we do all of that science? It says research. Oh, that's research science. So you can collect more than 100, you just can't do research beyond the 100 level. Okay. Now, what do we want to use here? External fuel ducts, that could be useful. Propulsion systems. We don't have any, we don't have anything for, monopropellant or anything like that. But that has a monopropellant tank, but not something to use the monopropellant. So that's a little weird. Well, that, some of this stuff would be useful for the aerodynamic stuff, but our focus here is ultimately on trying to do some docking. So, you know what? That's what we're going to try and focus on. Do I even have the parts to do docking? I don't think I do. Oh. Those are probably like way off, aren't they? Actuators, specialized construction. Well, that one has a docking port. All right, well, let's do the fuel systems here. Or do I want to do heavy rocketry? I should probably do heavy rocketry. Although I hate doing heavy rocketry and not having the access to the fuel for that heavy rocketry. Because I could do the Rockomax fuel stuff and then use those side engines that I have. These Thud liquid fuel engines. Those could work. So you know what? We'll do the fuel. Let's see. Yeah, that's what we're going to do for now. Okay, so let's go back to mission control. And let's see. Well, testing out that booster could be pretty nice. We just got to get all the way up there. So let's build a rocket to do that. All right, so what are we testing here? The Bach Thumper Solid Fuel Booster. So we gotta get this thing all the way up there. Ugh, that's a little bit of a pain. I'm also thinking about the fact that we might be able to get this up there, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get back. We'll try it. Hopefully the costs won't run too horrible on all of this. Don't save. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? Lander, neutron. That's the thing I wanted to look at. Okay, so we'll take all of this off so that we can start off with our regular little science vessel here. I'll do couplings for that. Now the main body, see you later, Gerardo. The main body of this ship is going to be the Thumper. Now we're gonna have to focus on a weird coupler design, I think. Do I want to do something like that though? Not really. Okay, I have an idea. I have no idea if this is actually going to work, but it's an idea. We'll have a couple fuel tanks here. Those fuel tanks going to feed down into okay, got my plan set up. Let's see if we can make it work. So the fuel tanks will feed into the lower ones there. Oh, this seems like it's horrible design. Okay. Looking at it, I just had horrible feelings. That trying that it's just going to go horribly wrong. All right. Is that going to work for this big contraption? I have absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea at all. Should I be using this? Oh, this has... So that has an engine of its own. Well, that's interesting. Oh, that's kind of like those Soviet engines, I think, for that. They're one really big rocket that they never actually got anywhere, but well, interesting at the very least. So wait, it's solid fuel, oxidizer, and liquid fuel? Okay. So it uses the solid fuel. I'm so confused as to how this whole thing works. Snazzy new design includes built-in separation boosters for good measure. I have no idea. We'll test that out later. I have no idea how that thing works, so I'm a little skeptical on using it. All right, so our plan here is going to be using those sets of rockets to get us up to orbit. Hopefully we can get up to orbit on that amount of fuel. And then if we can get to where we need to be, we'll then be able to do something else, I guess. Be able to test out this little rocket thing up there. Oh, this is gonna go horribly wrong. But let's try it. Alright, SAS is activated. We're at least getting up, so that's progress. Not really looking like we're gonna have enough fuel though. I'm wondering if I'm gonna actually have to look into doing maybe a taller rocket then. Might be what I gotta do. Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna have to do because this thing's not gonna be able to reach where we need to be. So we need to, for this mission, we need to be in orbit we need to be at that altitude. So I'm going to need more fuel. Revert. Alright. Back to the drawing board. So we'll put a coupling down there. That makes absolutely no sense trying to do that there, but we're trying it. Okay. Well, I guess we'll at least try out this weird contraption. Okay, let's try this again with all of this set up and see if this actually works. Alright, so that's that. So that... I'm still not entirely sure how this is going to work, activating that, but let's find out. Alright, so is it draining fuel from the main body? Not sure, because this is going down. Doesn't look like it's draining fuel from the main body, so I might have to rectify that. Though even then, it still does take a, uh-oh. Now, this is what I feared. We're off balance. Which is like the most horrible thing that we can have happen. Oh. Because this part here weighs more than the bottom. Okay. Let's revert back. Gonna get this figured out eventually. Somehow. Alright, so we could try this again using that. And a little array of engines there. Still iffy if that's going to be enough fuel, but let's try it. And I think I have to go back and look at my engine set up here because I think that's a little off too. Put you there. Okay, let's try and lift off. Okay, that's not going to work because the whole thing's going to be rotating. Arg. Okay, let's try just getting rid of these then. And see if those engines alone are going to be enough. They might be. Yeah, shows what I know, and they are not. Okay. I think I have an idea. Don't do that. Don't go loading the save back and then messing it all up. Okay, so what we are going to do here is we're going to do a couple different sets of engines. Let's limit their thrust to 50%. Because I think those will have a really good kick to them. I don't even know if these little nose cones really add much as far as aerodynamics. Aerodynamics go. I know some of the other parts do, but nose cones, maybe not so much. All right. So what we're going to be doing here is we'll start with the solid rocket boosters there. Then we'll switch over to the liquid fuel. And hopefully that will all get us to where we need to go. I'm trying at 50% on the solid rocket boosters because those generally have a really large kick to them. But it's not a large enough kick. So we'll go back and put it up to 100. Since we're carrying all this fuel here. Alright, that's working now. Although we're really not going fast enough, so let's start our liquid fuel. I guess one option could be, if this doesn't work too well, is to reduce the amount of fuel that's actually on this solid rocket booster to just enough to actually do a test. And that way, hopefully get rid of most of the weight that it has. And then we'll be in a much better position to attempt to do the whole test thing. Apparently I did do a mystery goo thing on the upper atmosphere for whatever reason. Yeah, this isn't going to take us far enough. Okay, so let's go and try that idea. Let's see how much it reduces. So mass is currently 41 tons. If we reduce this down to 164, 36, so that's a nice difference. Hopefully it's enough to get our solid rocket booster actually working well. Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Okay. Whew. For a moment it was looking like this whole thing was gonna turn in the absolutely wrong way. But yeah, if this doesn't work, I'm pretty much going to have to look to do some other missions here, because I just don't have the, I guess, right engines to do this. Because they have some good supplies of fuel, but if I can't make those work with the engines, I'm kind of stuck. Unless, okay, I may have one more idea if this doesn't work. Alright, so let's boost our speed up. So what I'm going to do is, because the altitude, I have to get the altitude to 180,000. Best bet to do that is start at a lower orbit and change it up. Oh, I don't quite have enough to go there. Okay. I have the idea. So I'm having issues making it work centered around that single rocket. So what I'm going to do instead is I am going to instead put 2 of the solid rocket boosters on the ends of the ship, because they only need to test 1. So what I'm going to do to get this all set up, actually, you know what, don't save, neutron 2, load you up. That way I have all my little science stuff here. So what we're going to do is we are going to build a rocket that is rather well, like, like heavy on the outside and all that. Now we're going to need some good rocket engines here, which is where these things come in. And to make sure that everything is set up properly with that, coupling, payload, fuel tanks, there we go. So that should be, each one of those is now connected. Now all we have to do is set up some couplings that have these. But we only want to do it with 2 instead of 4. I said 2. 2. Okay. Let me move them just to be sure that they are going to actually be okay. And then we'll get rid of most of their solid rocket fuel so that they don't weigh us down too much. We'll add some tail fins onto those parts. And now we're over our part limit. Well, screw it then. How many? Let's see. Oh, I can only add one little thing left. In that case, forget it. I think this should work, hopefully. Okay, that's not good. Why aren't you working? Well, that's the only other part I can put on if that doesn't work. Or give it up on this mission for the time being. Alright, thrusters to maximum. And I activated the wrong darn thing. Alright, if this doesn't work, well, we at least gave it our shot. Alright, so we are getting up. It's progress. Did I set this up right? Fuel into there, okay. It's going slow. Oh, don't tell me that the fuel isn't going into there. No, it should be. Because these are at halfway done, but there's still a good amount of fuel there. Okay. Oh yeah, and I just noticed that the center engine isn't taking any fuel right away either, so... This is what I hate about these stupid things. Especially when they don't have gimbals, it's, Alright, you know what, I have attempted. This mission is a little beyond me for the moment. What other missions do we have then? I mean, this one I can do real quick. We'll just do that to get it out of the way. Oh, it's a really big Kerbal launch site launch. How do you test this thing anyways? Probably just right click it and hit test, I'm guessing. Run test. Hooray. Rather uneventful test, but it worked. Ooh, conducts temperature surveys of Kerbal. Inflate below, inflate below, inflate below, inflate below. Okay, cool. This one is a much easier one to do because this is all in flight below certain areas. And so we don't have to be landed. So we can do this with our little plane. Can I upgrade this? 74,940. And I'm at 427,000. So yeah, we can upgrade it. That way, hopefully our planes don't go colliding or crashing or whatever they do. All right, let's load up our Flyer Alpha here. Or actually, no, Science Plane, I think. Nah, Science Plane didn't work too well. Flyer Alpha worked rather well. All we have to do is add the, well, do I need to add a goo thing? Nah, I'll just add a barometer. So we have the temperature and we have the barometer. Let's add a few other temperature gauges on this thing. Just for kicks. Okay. Save and launch. There's a few potholes on this runway, but it's in a much better state than it was when it was just a little dirt track. Oh, but we have to go all the way over yonder. So what's the best way to get there? Probably turn around. Looks like it. And go to 4 times speed. So we have to make our way all the way across the planet, pretty much. Oh, there's a desert airfield and a desert launch site? Where did those come from? Also, if you're watching this stream once it gets posted to YouTube, Definitely tell me how you use those other launch sites, because I have no idea. Because I'm pretty sure you can use those other launch sites. It would make sense that you could use those other launch sites. Unless maybe you have to actually get to them first. I mean, that could be. Or if anyone who's watching on Twitch knows how to use those other launch sites or airfields or whatever, you know, definitely let me know, because I have no clue at all how to use those. Any temperature things that I can do here? Nah. Pressure things? Nah. Crew reports? Nah. I better have enough fuel to actually reach that location. Oh, that would suck. To make it so far and then suddenly it's like, oh, nope, you don't have enough fuel. Also, what was that little blinking light there? Oh, does it blink when you're going down? Is that what it is? I think that might be what it is. You know, for someone who's had this game for like 4 years now, I think it's 4 years, probably something close to that. I don't really know how this game works with a lot of stuff on it. It's kind of sad. And now we begin our trek over the ocean. Kind of disappointed. On YouTube I named this Trying to Dock initially, but nah, that's definitely not going to be the name for the stream after all, because it's going to be more like just trying to fly or something like that, because yeah, we're not even close to being able to do docking yet. We're gonna need a lot more scientific research stuff and that sort of thing. Because at the and we're also gonna have to upgrade our science center, because one of the 100 plus level science trees or whatever actually has the docking clamp. That's what I was trying to say. Brain fart. It's also not a good thing that with this plane we don't really, like, we can't go much faster than like almost 200 meters per second. That's about as fast as we can go. Also apparently trying to raise my oh dear, come on, get out of your little plummeting there. Okay. Other launch sites, enable in settings under difficulty level, and there's a little drop down tab under the launch button in the vehicle assembly buildings. Mouse over it and you get 2 launch sites and 2 runways. Oh, okay. Thank you, Phalanx. Thanks for watching, Phalanx. Have a good night. How far away are we anyways on reaching this place? We're still a far ways off. But I think we should have enough fuel. Because let's see, if we judge based on where the Kerbal Space Center is, we're probably a little less than halfway, but we still have quite a bit of fuel. One bad thing about Kerbal Space Program, though, is these flights are very boring. Wait, did I say these? What did I just say? I don't know. I'm half asleep here. But yeah, these flights are very boring. Over the ocean and all that. Especially when you're only going 200 meters per second. I mean, I'm going faster now because I'm losing altitude. But I'm not that much down, so okay, I'm actually gaining altitude again now. Well, that's odd. I didn't even touch anything, but hey, I'll take it. As long as I'm not crashing into the ocean, it's always progress. But yeah, these flights are very boring over the ocean, unless you are going supersonic speeds, like, you know, halfway out of the atmosphere. Then those are entertaining because you're like on fire. Well, let's take a look and see what Jebediah is seeing. It's a rather small cockpit he has here. Docking mode. I hope we're not in docking mode. We're not in docking mode. I don't know why it says that. Yeah, this would definitely be a challenge, trying to play Kerbal Space Program solely based on a cockpit view. I have no idea what Jebediah here is actually doing. He's messing around with something. But yeah, trying to play Kerbal Space Program just through the cockpit view, oh, that would be bad. Especially when you're like in a rocket and you like don't have access to any like any real good way to see what's outside. That should be a challenge if it isn't already. Doing a cockpit view playthrough of Kerbal Space Program. Maybe I'll try that on my next playthrough. Sounds like an interesting idea now that I've mentioned it. It's probably a completely horrible idea. But assuming that I have enough money to do it, to afford all of the lost ships that I'll likely have, it might be a fun thing to do. This is a horrible flight. A really horrible flight. Oh. Get us out of this. Waiting while we go over the ocean. So yeah, my general plan for this playthrough right now, while we have time and I'm all alone to my thoughts, my general plan for this Kerbal Space Program playthrough overall, the series overall, is to eventually get to... oh, we're almost in the desert. I eventually want to get, like, to another planet, because I've never gotten to another planet in Kerbal Space Program before. So that's, like, my #1 goal. Beyond that, I don't know. There's certainly a lot of options for us to explore. Probably my next thing with science, I should probably look into being able to build a probe, because looking online I've seen some of the recommendations are building like little science probes and sending those off to different planets so that you can use do different like science experiments with the probe while it's in orbit, and you can actually even repeat those little missions. It would be a good way to get science. Also, one thing I'd really like to know is why is it that you can't transmit temperature data? Like, you wouldn't think that temperature data would be like all that like big to transfer, whereas you can do a full crew report or EVA report. It's always something I've wondered about. Like, there's certain things that I can kind of understand. Barometer, that I don't really understand either. You'd think with pressure readings that you could probably send real easy. Some of the more advanced science stuff that they have, I can kind of see why. Like the goo canister, that I can kind of see, you know, why you would have to send all of that back. We're almost to the desert. We'll get some nice science from being around there. Alright, so we're approaching the desert. Don't think we can do the crew. Yeah, the crew report still puts us over water. I would like to do an EVA report over this desert. The only thing is, I'm afraid that if I get out of the plane, I'll fall out. And then that'll be it. Alright, so we have that. Let's transmit that. Good, good. Don't have to worry about that anymore. Let's see. Temperature data. We can get that. I don't think the barometer does anything over the desert now. Alright, we are almost there. How's our fuel doing? We're about halfway at the fuel. The good thing, though, is that we don't have to make our way back from this mess. So all we have to do is actually make it over there, do our temperature surveys, and then we'll be good. And which one of these is empty? That one, okay. Since I gotta know which one I gotta use when I get to that location over there. And thankfully all of this is below a certain height, because if I was trying to do those measurements above, this little plane wouldn't cut it. How is my science looking right now? 28.1. I have, let's see, 5.6. So that would be like 12. Each of these little things, I think, gives me 4. So 12 and 16. 28. About, yeah, 12 and 16. Yep. So another 28, so that'll put me at like 56. Still a little short of the 90 that I need to get the next level of aeronautics, because I think that might be what I do next. That way I can traverse the ground area, or the, well, not the ground, but the areas on Kerbal. I can check those out much easier. Come on, plane. You're almost there. Oh, it would so suck if we made it here. We got like most of these and then ran out of fuel before we could reach the last area. Oh, I hope I didn't just jinx myself saying that. Nah, we should be good. I do kind of wish that I could review the research tree from all the way out here, just to get a sense of some of the different, I guess, plans that we can have going. It is something that I'll have to do before I end the episode, just to get a sense of where our next episode is going to take us. Because I was thinking when I was starting up this episode that I'd be able to do the research to get docking and do that, you know, right away. Unfortunately, as I do a lot, sort of misjudged it and thought I could do more than I could. Alright, it looks like we're heading towards Magrieg's Redemption first. So let's position ourselves a little bit to be a little bit better for that. I suppose a couple areas that we do need to do research on are, we haven't done anything as far as the mountains go, I don't believe. We've checked out the highlands, but I think we only did one little bit of research there. And then we still have the snowy region to check out too. I think the Arctic is a separate whole region. Or the Antarctic, or whatever they want to call it for this game. All right. We're almost there. Thank goodness, too, because we're approaching the end of the episode for today. When I was thinking about doing this mission, I didn't think that it would be on the other side of the planet. But fortunately, it gave me an opportunity for Failing Cinder on Twitch to let me know of how to unlock those other launch areas, and that's one other thing that I want to do before we end this episode for today. So the two things I'll have to do after I finish this mission are check out the research tree, figure out where we're going to go, and then check out the I hope you can change it in difficulty settings within the career. You may not be able to. I don't know. I've never looked into changing difficulty settings in Kerbal Space Program before, so it might be that we're stuck with it, but I'll at least check it out to see, at least get a view of it. Okay, so we are at the first location. We'll do our temperature scan, and that is done. Next, I guess Valentina's, oh, that was already activated. Come on, almost there. I suppose in some ways this could have been better served doing this as perhaps an uploaded episode rather than a stream, because I suppose there are some long periods that get to be a little bit of a pain. Alright, we got the crew report over the Highlands. Next area is Millorf's whatever Millorf is. I'm gonna grab that. Oh, I would have to get rid of it. Let's see. View data. That's over the water. One of those I'm gonna have to get rid of, at least temporarily. I think I can probably get rid of the water one, because that one I can probably redo rather easily. Come on, little jet. Well, we're about a quarter of our fuel is left. But I think we're still good. We should be able to make it. Alright, we'll reset that. Now just the one last little temperature thing. Then we will be done! Done! Hooray! And hopefully we won't crash it, because there's still a good amount of science that's on this rig here. Log, and the mission should be done now. Yep. Okay, so let's go grab our water temperature survey. Then after that, we will be done. We'll just have to find somewhere to land and hopefully not destroy this aircraft. Alright, so let's start to slow this all down now. Alright, so hopefully the shores will be relatively decent over here. I don't think that one's real good. But we're gonna try. Alright, do I deploy the parachute now? I think we should. Alright. No, no! Haha! We didn't lose our behind here. Okay, just gotta bring it to a stop. Come on. There we go. Nice. I was afraid that was going to go horribly wrong. Alright, so 5, we got all of that. So that took us to 64 science. Our funds are 462, that's not too bad. Poor Jebediah, he still hasn't gotten any more experience. So we'll warp to the next morning. Okay, so let's check out the research and development. So aerodynamics is kind of what I'm thinking of getting next. The reason for that is it has the turbofan engines, and that should be a nice little improvement for trying to do a lot of the stuff in the Kerbal atmosphere. What else? General construction we haven't done yet. The launch stability enhancer, that's not too important, but I mean, it has some uses for the big craft. Structural fuselage is pretty neat for space planes, or well, at least when they're in the atmosphere. Rockamex brand adapter, that's not too special. The decouplers are probably decent to have. Strut connectors, we haven't really built anything too big to make use of those yet. Landings, again, that's something that we kind of want later on. We will want the small landing gear though, because that will give us small landing gear has brakes, I believe, so that would be a nice bonus to have to help our little guys survive. Flight control, it's not too important on its own, but it does lead into some better stuff, especially these RCS thrusters. That's like one of the main things that you definitely need, especially when it comes to docking. So that's something we'll have to keep in mind as well. You know what? I think before we end it for today, I'm going to do basic science though, because this is going to give us the Science Junior Lab, and that's going to give us access to more science. So, and we'll be able to do a bit more with that. Any other things from this one that gives science? Not that I can see. Oh, rover wheels, the thing that we were talking about earlier. I was wondering where that was. Alright, so that is done. The other thing that we need to do is we need to check in the settings. Okay, so we do have difficulty options here. Allow other launch sites. So a simple little thing takes us to custom difficulty, but it's alright. So I want to look at vehicle assembly. So we have the Woomerang launch site and the Desert launch site, which is called Desert. I think that's how you spell dessert. Like regular, you know, that you eat dessert. So this Woomerang launch site, let's go over there. Just to see what they have. Oh, so I guess for the launch site, they only give you a little, just a little area to use. And I think that's the moon over there. But it's a nice little area here. If we take him out, can he do an EVA report here that's different? Yes, okay. I suppose we could probably do a crew report as well, yep. So we'll recover the vessel and we'll do the same thing over at the desert launch site. Now, I do wonder, are the launch sites, did those only come with the mission pack, or were those available with the update that did the mission pack? I think they only came with the mission pack, because I don't remember seeing these when I was checking it out before. Oh yeah, can we do mystery goo? We can. We don't get much from it, but still something. That and atmospheric. Yes, okay. Alright, so just from getting those launch sites, that provides us with access to a few different things of science. It's only a little, but it's still something. So I'll take it. Alright folks, so that is going to be it for this stream today. Thanks to Phalanx Sender on Twitch for the information on the launch sites. We now know a little trick here that will hopefully help us out in the long run. Let's see. Patched conics visible in map. Interesting. I'm trying to see what else we should update next here. We have a few options. Kerbal EVAs can collect surface samples. Oh, that would be nice. The only problem is this is 450,000 in cost, which would like wipe us out, and so can't really do that. At least not comfortably anyways. So we'll figure out where we go next time. Once the video for the stream is posted, if there's anything you see that I could be doing better, obviously leave them in the comments below. As always, do enjoy that. And if you've enjoyed this stream, even though it was a little slow, be sure to leave a like on the video. Let's see, what's our plan for, well, this coming week? We should hopefully be getting close to finishing up the Total War Warhammer Katep Mortal Empires campaign. So that will be on Sunday. Tuesday we'll be continuing StarCraft. It'll just be a short episode finishing up the Protoss Brood War episode. What else? Next Thursday, I haven't decided what I want to do next Thursday. If there's new stuff in 1 Hour 1 Life, by then we might do that. We might do Kerbal Space Program, or I might change it up and I might do something new. Who knows, I might make something different. Alright folks, so that is going to be it for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.